warm welcome to the Borealis Show. I was actually supposed to speak on the radio today, but I figured if my family in Germany wants to watch this too, it has to be recorded with the camera. So this is for you, Dad, in Germany. You're listening to Jazz FM, your favorite online radio station. And you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and on jazzfm.ca. From now on, I'll be on air every Friday at 7 p.m. to guide you into your weekend and help you relax and unwind. Alright, but first and foremost, I would like to thank Jessie Parma for giving me this unique opportunity. Thank you so much for contacting me, for encouraging me, and for guiding me. What a generous and kind person you are. I'm so grateful, and I'm looking forward to these next coming weeks. Okay, so let's get started. Feel, empower, relate. That's the theme of my show here. Feel stands for let go of the stress you accumulated over the week. Feel your heart beating. Breathe deeply. Everything is going to be fine. Empower stands for be aware of the impact you have on other people. You are unique on this planet, and I will make sure to find some of you and make them shine on my show. Relate stands for we are all together in this. At times, you will have the opportunity to call in and connect with me and the community, or you just come into my show for an interview. I am one of you, and we are all together in this. So, I'm excited to connect with you. So let's look at the relationships we have and how we treat each other. What I would love to do is make you smile, make you appreciate the small things in life, make you feel connected and understood, supported, and ultimately loved. What I also want to do with this show is to spark a conversation between men and women, because I feel there's a tension in the air and that there has to be a talk that we didn't have in a while, or maybe never even had. You will be witnessing really good discussions with me and like on the phone, as I said, or with my incredibly interesting guests. Okay, so let's start this first episode. I was wondering these days, what am I really good at in life? What comes effortlessly to me and might be beneficial to my environment and most important people in my life? And I realized this morning what I'm really good at is observing and falling in love with the small things in life. You heard it just right. The small things in life that so many of us, and me included, used to oversee The first harsh judgment my mind was giving me was, well, that's nothing you can really measure or share or even earn money with. But then I thought a little further. Okay, so for example, me and mangoes or pineapples, or take whatever fruit you want, that juicy orange flesh and this taste you just want to indulge in. Or glowing eyes of a person when they react to something you've said, or when they see or do something they are passionate about. Or when someone is going through a critical breakthrough in their life and they can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel again. So priceless for me, endlessly precious. To witness those kind of things, it's, I don't know, kind of magical. And when it comes to observing, I guess my favorite thing with that is if I see someone is stuck in their life, I want to do everything to get them unstuck and feel empowered again. But more about this later. So now, the ultimate question is if this is of any benefit for you. Sorry. Because, yeah, you'll be tuning in, spending time with me, but if you see and feel that this doesn't bring you anything, then, yeah, I will have to find another job. So, who are you? And what are you doing right now? Are you at home cuddling your dog who waited for you so impatiently? Are you feeling good at the moment? Or are you feeling sad and depressed and lonely? Are you preparing dinner and you will be going out on a first date afterwards because it's Friday night? Did you have a fight with a loved one and want to reconnect again so badly because you don't feel good about how it ended or how you took off and just left things unsaid? Are you still angry at your parents because when you were little they didn't give you what you needed? Were you trying to get your homework done but then got distracted? Who are you when you are with other people? Who are you when you are by yourself and no one watches? What do you do then when you're all by yourself? Well, I guess I'll never really know, but I hope over the run of this show I will be able to get to know you, and at least like some of you out there, and make a little change in your life. Oh, and also this show will not always be all lovey-dovey. I will also make sure that you will never get bored. I have some pretty interesting characters coming to my show as guests, and we might have heated discussions at times. So, just a warning beforehand. So back to you. What I said earlier. What I would love to be able to do is brighten your day and guide you into your evening or even weekend. But what I should also add is that I want to make you aware of subtle dynamics and patterns I'm witnessing in people that not necessarily serve you or us as a species or community. What I'm pretty sure to know about all of us is we are all hungry animals. We are hungry for connection. We are hungry for respect. We are hungry to be heard and listened to, and ultimately loved and accepted. When someone gives you exactly what I just said, at a slower pace than you are functioning, in a different way that you expected, at their own pace, because I know I function at a very different pace than most of us, or yeah, we're all unique and function at a different pace. And if I give exactly this to you, not like a vending machine or Amazon instantly, Can you appreciate this without wanting to consume at a fast pace, or even wanting to possess and obsess about it? I know from myself that I used to be really restless. Having to listen to something that is running at a slower or a different pace was making me nervous, irritated, even aggressive and frustrated, ultimately cynical. But I think we can learn to see and appreciate the uniqueness in each other again. Don't you think? I think so. That's why I think it's going to be a very interesting experience, and I'm so excited for this project. Okay, I gotta breathe a little here. Ooh, this camera. It's all fine. Being on air and communicating to unknown people out there is so very new to me. You have to know that. The human voice is something so special, don't you think? Like when you hear an "I love you" or "I hate this about you," the feelings that come along with it, so powerful, so powerful. Or when you hear the voice of a loved one on the phone after a long time of not seeing each other, so nice as well, right? Like I think of my brother and my dad when, like every time it's like a lightning in my heart when I hear them. Oh, and silence. Sharing silence with someone, that is probably the most powerful thing when you connect with someone. And so sweet. Oh, and being silent with someone you don't like is pretty powerful too. It's actually the worst. If you have kids or animals, you're reminded daily of how sensitive they react to the tone of your voice. And yes, my voice has also a certain tone, which I hope is not irritating you. And I'm pretty sure by now you can notice an accent. I don't want to say little because I know everyone notices it. Yeah, I'm from Germany, the country of soccer, beer, punctuality, and fast cars. This is where my accent is from, and I probably won't be able to get rid of it in my lifetime, so you will have to live with it. When I got to Canada 4 years ago, I went back to college. I noticed you guys here in Canada have such a gentle way to relate to each other. Maybe it's all a fake show, I don't know yet, but it seems pretty genuine. And you are very polite, so helpful and welcoming, and avoidant when you don't like someone. Not confrontative or aggressive at all. That was very interesting to me. But yeah, very easygoing people, and I love being here. The German culture is very direct and sometimes harsh and pushy, and that's the only thing I didn't really appreciate too much when I used to live there. But still, it is ingrained in my gene, and I'm pretty sure over the run of the show you will notice this side in me as well. So in the coming weeks, among other topics, I will be addressing modern feminism. What is this to me? And why is this topic important to me? Oh, and just a side note. Please know that everything I say here is my very personal opinion, and Jess FM cannot be held reliable for what is being said here or done here, and will always be me who is responsible. Okay, now back to why I think modern feminism is important to talk about. So modern feminism has a very, and maybe it's just me calling it modern feminism, but you will understand what I mean by that. I see a lot more women taking better care of their body and mental health, and seeing that there is a mind and a body and a spirit and soul. Lots of more people doing yoga and meditation, and I really love it. I love it, I love it. It makes my soul sing. That's like a very positive side of the modern feminism. But then the other side is that I believe that the Me Too, like hashtag Me Too movement, is a necessary evil. It is incredibly important to disclose stuff and to make everything that happened to women in the past transparent in order to protect women in the present and in the future. I get that. But I can see that it is also definitely not improving the relationship between men and women. In the media, as well as in daily life situations, especially, and the dating scene, yeah, I don't know. I saw a couple things out there that were pretty nasty and not nice to witness. Like, be it over Facebook or Tinder or, yeah, not good. And then additionally, when you see what kind of guys get all the attention in our society, it is the bullies and the loud aggressive guys, or the guys who are incredibly knowledgeable but running around with a huge superiority complex. It just makes me so sick. Like, honestly, it's all you can see in the media, I find. Maybe it's just me, but yeah, I felt like it's not gonna hurt if we talk about it today. Gosh, you see how passionate I can become. Yeah. Calm down. I don't want to go too much into detail with this topic, but I see a lot of angry and fear-driven ladies out there who at the same time are desperate to find the right partner. They seem to be stuck in some kind of quicksand. Please, ladies, hang in there and hear me out. I know this might sound strange and uncomfortable, but maybe you can also feel relief. I have been there, and I'm slowly coming out of this, so don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not this saint who's like flying above all. I'm not there yet, gosh. But strangely enough, for some reason, I just feel like I'm walking on thin ice. Okay, let's get it out there, Borealis. So here is my proposition. I believe after prosecution and public humiliation and punishment has to come forgiveness. Forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. Letting go of shame, guilt, allowing to let go and forgive. I know it is so hard. I know it, believe me. I experienced it with my own body. if you were mistreated, or even worse. And even if it is perceived trauma only. What do I mean with perceived trauma? Is from the outside, nothing big happened, and people might even say, oh my god, get over it, harden up. But inside, you perceive it as being threatened, mistreated, or that your boundaries have been crossed. You have to validate how you felt and talk about it. But then focus on letting go and move on. In my personal life, resentment and unconsciously wanting revenge, and I lived for that, with that for 10 years. Yeah. I experienced even more draining feelings and pain, and hurt many people, neglected people that I know were important to me back then, but I couldn't, I had my heart so closed up. I was constantly finding myself in survival mode without even realizing it and knowing it. I thought resentment and overcompensating with a hard gym workout would make me invincible and strong. But it only shut down my heart, and it attracted even more aggression into my life. Law of attraction, if you believe in it or not. Does that make sense to you? Or I really hope you can follow me. In a nutshell, really feel and acknowledge what happened to you fully, but then don't hold on to it or hide. And please don't go out dating by leaving your heart at home and exposing the guy to trial questioning, like defensive dating or this fear-driven dating that I witness so often. Or even worse, try to overcompensate with sexiness. Please, don't try to go down that way. So ladies out there who spoke out, or ladies out there who to this day kept their mouth shut, we have to let go and forgive, or else we live in toxicity and poison everyone around us without even seeing and realizing it. Okay, so I'll stop right here, or else I'll run out of time later. I think with my show, I want to prove to the world that it is possible to forgive full-heartedly. I have been through a lot. Today I can say I have endless compassion for most beings here on this planet, but I'm especially happy to have found compassion for men again. Why? Because it makes my life and my relationships so much easier, and I can enjoy life so much more because we all live together, and we are all together in this, right? I mentioned it twice at the beginning. I have been harassed and even mistreated, but I know that 99% of guys are inherently good. I know that. Having two brothers and a dad I love dearly gives me no choice but forgiving the man who mistreated me. I want to believe and see the good in you. Soon, Jason Rao will be my guest, and we will discuss his book about man's right. Or he will, it's not completely about man's right, but it's an incredible journey that he's been on, and I'm so pumped to have him as my guest here because I met him today, and yeah, he has a lot to share. And I will also have a show on the warriors among us. I will invite guys to the show who have a story to tell. And in my opinion, great inspiration for people out there. Being brave and breaking free from norms in order to follow their heart. I was so blessed to meet them, and yeah, you will meet them as well here soon. And yeah, it's been all very emotional now. I guess that's how I am. I hope you're not too overwhelmed. Today is going to be a very relaxed conversation with my wonderful friend and yoga teacher, Melissa. We will be talking about yoga and the importance of playfulness, and about men doing yoga or dating. And yeah, that was kind of my mission and vision statement, just to let you know what you are getting yourself into. And now I would like to call Melissa in. Hi, gorgeous.
Hello. 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 I'm Melissa. Thank you so much for having me with you.
Yes, I'm so happy you're here on my first day.
So happy to be here.
Yeah, I remember the first time, like, it was not the first yoga session we had, but one of the first yoga sessions where I was in that pose, and you let us in that pose for so long, and I was just sitting there like, oh, I hate this so much. And after,
my favorite.
yeah, you know how to do it. And afterwards you said, oh my God, you look like you just wanted to kill me. And yeah,
Such
I really,
anger.
yeah, I wanted to kill me. And yeah, you helped me greatly in releasing my anger, and yeah, awesome. So, first thing,
Yes.
what I will do with any of my guests is that I want you to ask a question to the guys out there.
Okay.
And over the run of the next week, I will either ask guys to answer me that question, or
Yes.
the next guy who comes in will be answering your question. So it will be answered no matter what.
Okay.
Can you think of a question that you would like to?
I do have one thing that I would love for men, or a man, to address.
Yeah.
To just kind of talk about what their stance is on ghosting, or kind of backing out of a relationship without any contact or any touching base of any kind. Just curious about
Do you
a
think
man's stance on this.
Yeah. Do you think it happens with girls too? Do you think girls do that too?
I've had females say to me that they've ghosted.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And what is their excuse?
There hasn't really been an excuse other than it just seems like there hasn't been an excuse that other than it seems like they don't care.
Okay.
They don't care enough about this other person's feelings, and they don't care enough to touch base anyway. That's what I've gotten out of it. I didn't really push it. It's been with people who I don't know well enough to kind of press that button
Yeah.
a little bit more.
Yeah.
If it's been from some of my friends or anything like that, then
You would have.
I would be like, why are you doing that? What is your reasoning behind it?
Yeah.
So
Okay, so I will find out if
Yes.
for guys it's different. And
Yeah.
maybe it's exactly the same, but maybe
Yeah.
they have another excuse.
it may be, different too from individual to individual, but
Yeah.
it would be interesting to know
Mhm.
someone else's perspective.
Yes, always.
To me, it just seems like the easy way out. It's easier to cut all ties than actually contact the person and say something maybe difficult, like I'm not interested in this the way I used to be, or something's not jiving here for me. To me, it seems like the easy way out. But that is my opinion. So.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes they're scared of the reaction you might have, like
Right.
having to explain yourself and
Of course.
what's on.
Yes.
So yeah, today I introduced myself and what like the purpose of this show is, and I also talked about abuse and women and how important. And don't get me wrong, like there's lots of guys out there who get abused and harassed and raped
Yes.
out there, and no one talks about it. That's I don't know. You've never really heard about it, no? Unless
It doesn't get talked about very
No.
much.
No.
At all.
No, at all. And as I say, it's good that women come out and talk about it.
Yeah.
I did that today as well. But it's also like, yeah, very similar for some guys out there, and they have no one to talk to. So I always think, or I know that we all grew up and go through some kind of trauma, be it major or small, but it affects us. So I assume that you went through some trauma as well, and you don't have to go into detail if you don't want to. It's up to you, but I would like to ultimately know, how did you find closure? How were you able to move on, and do you feel like you healed completely, or when you meet guys or are confronted to a similar situation, do you still have a reaction or a protective shield, or if it's okay for you to answer?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've been through my fair share of trauma, and I was in an abusive relationship for quite a long time. And the hardest part for me about that actually has been letting myself heal from it as I need to. So a year after the relationship ended, I got really frustrated with myself, saying, why am I not better by this yet? And then 2 years after it ended, like, oh, I'm still feeling the effects of this, and kind of getting angry with myself that it's still an ongoing process, and it is still, I would not say that I'm fully healed from it yet. Even now, I do a lot of self-work on making sure that I don't expect that from romantic partners, like expecting the abuse. It is hard not to put up a wall, to put up defensiveness, to kind of shield myself. I do work really hard on being vulnerable because I know it's important, and I do want healthy, loving relationships. It definitely still affects me, though. I feel a lot better about it now than I ever have, but it took me a really long time to realize that it's probably going to be a process that I deal with my whole life.
Yeah.
And that was really hard to come to terms with. But it also feels okay, like just part of, you know, if you physically hurt yourself, if it's bad enough, you're going to have scar tissue, and you're going to have that scar, that mark, that stays forever. But if you are really clear and conscious about healing that, be it through physical therapy, anything that you need to do, that scar is not going to hinder you. And so it's always going to be there, and there's always going to be that hurt.
Yeah.
I feel let down that another person can hurt me so badly, and that hurt will always be there. But I don't know. I'm letting more and more of it go. I'm healing every day.
Good. And it also forces you a little to take really good care of yourself, you know?
Yes, definitely.
Like, as soon as you feel like, oh no, there's the alerts again, then you are like, okay, do something good for yourself, and then, like, meet a girlfriend, or go do yoga, or just sit in silence and do nothing.
absolutely. There are certain thought patterns that come up for myself that are very similar to what I was thinking when I was in that relationship.
Yeah.
And it's easy to kind of go down that rabbit hole and get stuck there in this like deep, dark place of self-resentment or unworthiness or whatever it may be. It's so easy to get stuck there.
Yeah.
But it has been easier and easier for me to notice those patterns as they come up and kind of stop them, like you said, and do things for myself that are beneficial.
Very, very good.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. And so yeah, with guys, do you think guys, they obviously have a very different way of dealing with grief or trauma, but how is it for you as a yoga teacher when you have a guy in your class? Does he feel completely comfortable from the beginning? Or do you think it's hard for them to get started and to take good care of themselves? Or do you think for guys it's pretty much the same? Is it stigmatized for guys and not for girls, or is it the same?
For yoga specifically, it seems like there's a lot more pressure on them because in our Western culture there's so many females who practice yoga and it's predominantly female, so I feel like there's kind of that self-consciousness. I haven't actually talked to a lot of men though about their yoga practice and what it's like for them.
Yeah.
As far as feeling like any trauma or anything like that, I think a lot of the time men aren't allowed by society to emote. And I think that needs to be addressed just as much as absolutely everything else.
Yeah.
Because if you can't emote, then you cannot process.
Yeah.
You can't heal your mental health. You can't communicate effectively. And it's different for different people, but if you just stuff more and more down, like one day, listen up.
You either explode or
Yes.
you become depressed.
Yeah,
And
or you implode.
Yeah, you implode. Exactly. Have you, like in your, maybe we're not going to address family, but your friends, did you ever hear about a guy that says, okay, I'm in a bad place, I want to go to counseling and this is going to help me? Like, is this something that a guy would do, or is he going to have friends who support him, or?
I don't think it's supported by men or women. And that's what's hard for me to see, especially in that
Yes!
if men want to look after their mental health, there's still a stigma on mental health, and especially with men who are looking to address that somehow.
Yeah.
A lot of people get shamed for that.
Yeah.
Because it's so associated with, you know, the old horror films of a mental hospital and everyone's going crazy and screaming and banging the walls. And
Yes. Oh my God.
and that's what mental health has been associated with. And then
Yeah.
very much so with men, I find that not always women, but a lot of the time women put men down for wanting to become healthier in that way, wanting to become clearer in that way. And that shame is something that needs to be addressed in feminism as well.
Oh, so much. Like, yeah, I don't know, we're supposed to be the soft, receiving, accepting, what else do we have, like, kind of, how do you say, human here, and yeah, some women out there, as soon as the guy is like, oh my God, I'm tired, I don't want to do anything today, or not feeling great, I might go and see a counselor. That one chick the other day said, well, this is kind of weak,
Yeah, you can't do that, and that's not okay.
Oh
and what
my
are you
god!
thinking?
And I think maybe I'm wrong, but it goes so like the pain must be so unbearable until a guy says that,
Yeah,
and then a woman comes along and says, "Man up,
yeah,
toughen up," and I'm like, wow, like you just might as well throw him out of the window. That was me. Yeah, no, I don't know. We really have to talk about this with girls, and I will I will first focus on men and warriors among us, but I will also invite girls, and we will talk about how difficult it is to take care of ourselves with this fast-paced life, and because I think if we take better care of ourselves, we can be that caring, accepting woman.
yes.
And now that we're all running around like chicks with chopped off hats, it's like you cannot be accepting and warm, and it's, I don't know, it's not all bad out there, but it is something that we have to talk about it in our communities, I find. And so when it comes to the dating scene, I mean, you're still very young, you're 26. Right. You seem so wise and old, and okay, 26, but you've been out there, you've dated. Did you notice that it's been more different or difficult recently, or when you talk to girlfriends, are they all like happy relationship and it's all going smoothly, or can you see patterns?
It's kind of split half and half.
Yeah.
Of the women in my life finding partners. For myself, dating isn't a priority right now because I'm in school.
Yeah.
And so it's past the back burner. It's like behind the stove.
Yeah. Like he would have to jump in between you and your book to.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I get that.
So it's certainly not a priority for me right now.
Okay.
I do find dating to be difficult,
Yeah.
but it isn't something that I've been very active in lately. It's
Which I find is so right, because pursuing, chasing,
yes,
that is not how you will attract a man who, is going to be the ultimate prince, right? If you chase, I think you attract people who are just as desperate as you to have a relationship.
Yes.
So
yeah, you're more filling a need than looking for a connection.
oh yeah,
It feels like.
absolutely. Like be my Netflix buddy.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll have to take care of my swearing. So it's not really something. Yeah, you just lean back and focus on your career, and then it will come when it comes. And
Yes.
that's, I think, a lot of guys who are listening tonight will say yes, because we want to be hunting and have the attention from you if we think you're the right girl, and so I think you are on a very healthy path there.
That's what I need to do right now. I
Yes.
can't have much more on my plate. So
No,
I would go crazy. So it's not a priority
No.
for sure.
That's okay. I think that's really good, actually. So when it comes to, and I hope that this is not too esoteric, when it comes to living from the headspace, like this mode we are constantly on, and the heart space and playfulness. I know that in your yoga classes, Melissa works at the Core Elements here in downtown Lethbridge, a super amazing safe space where you learn tons about yoga and the history of yoga while you work out, but you also learn to not take yourself too seriously. And I'm so grateful because I just started with yoga in February, and before I was way too restless anyways, but I was also scared about these ego-driven girls or even guys who are like, oh my god, this perfect pose, and we have to look like super great in every pose. And at Core Elements, it's so natural and so welcoming, and I know playfulness is a very big, important thing for you. Why do you think is it so important?
We've kind of lost our ability, I think, to be able to play and not take life so seriously, and to everything is so serious all of the time, and that has been really hard for me. And there's something about yoga, it can be different things for different people, but for myself with yoga, I feel like I can get really playful with it, and it doesn't have to be a set series of poses. It doesn't have to look like a certain thing. It can be so many different things to so many different people, and that is important. And I think that it's really important to have your thing that you can have fun with.
And let go of control.
Yeah.
And not think about, oh my god, how do I look like?
Yes.
Or, like kids again.
Yes.
Like, learn to play again, because you know how to play, but you unlearned it to function in the society and to fit in. And I read this very interesting thing the other day where he says it used to be like we have to have food, like we have to protect ourselves from the weather.
Basic needs.
Basic needs were like food, shelter, water, and love.
Yeah.
And now it is the acceptance from the others.
Right.
That is so much more. Like, okay, back then in the days we needed each other to hunt and gather and everything, but the way, how can I put it, the way you present yourself or the image you want to project into society, that is so, so important. Like, what do people think about me?
And we've become so serious about it lately.
Yes. And I mean, Tinder, I don't know if I can say anything good about Tinder, but it makes it even worse, because you have a picture and you swipe through and it's just a couple seconds that you judge, and you are so trained
based on that judgment.
You're so trained to judge, and this is so bad. Like, that's such a bad behavior. I think you can train like a young person to look at other people
and to judge them solely on what they're presenting. In their outward appearance.
No, it's not good. Playfulness is very important to be reminded of.
Because I think it's so hard to kind of let go of the face that you're trying to put forward and just be authentic. And I think that's what's so important about play, is that it's authentic. Like, it's so in the moment living that you can't be self-conscious about what you're doing if you're playing. Like, those two things don't coexist. And so, to get into a space of playfulness can help you bring that more into your outside life too, to not have to think about, well, how is this looking to other people? What are they actually seeing? And actually just stepping into yourself in that very moment and just being like, this is authentically me, and this is who I am. And it's not even about take it or leave it, it's just, this is
who I am.
Here I am.
And you will weed out people pretty quickly or attract, because people will be like, oh my god, I
feel the same thing, or I see the same thing in that person that I feel in myself.
Or, I'm not ready yet to do this, but that's pretty inspiring, and maybe I just do it at home when no one watches, and have my free time for, I don't know, 10 minutes a day. And then one day you can do it outdoors in public and
not be stressed about anyone else.
No, wouldn't that be fun? I don't know. And not everything has to be like, I don't know, there's always this thing where people think, oh, you have to be such a hippie to do this. No, you can be like a normal lab rat and go do crazy stuff at home with your friends and not be concerned about what they will think. And yeah. Is there, like, I know we talked so much yesterday, but is there something we wanted to address today as well, or something you'd be interested in talking about?
I guess one thing to add on to the playfulness that I would like to add to it. I feel like you can't have true playfulness with also having discipline. The two things kind of have to be together. Not in the same space, but kind of like to know happiness, you also have to know what sadness is. You have to know those two sides of something that is similar. For myself, bringing it back to yoga, because that's what I do.
That's your thing, yeah, but you can like transfer it onto
Yes.
other hobbies, yeah.
Of course. I couldn't get into what I now find the really fun poses or the really fun flows without having built the flexibility first and the strength first. And so that is where the discipline for me kind of comes into it, is that you can bring playfulness in any stage, but you will have more playfulness when you have more discipline.
Okay.
And I think that's really important to also bring into your life.
Yeah. Like
Because
make
we're-
the space and time for it and focus on
Yeah.
it like 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah, take it serious.
Take it seriously, and also having clear boundaries with yourself, having clear boundaries with other people,
Yeah.
being able to be strong and flexible can bring you the space to be playful.
Yeah. No, I can see that. I can see that. Now I remember. There was this thing where we talked about music. And I mean, we are on a radio station, we are a music station. How I said, or we agreed that there's food we can consume, there's water, and then like how you taste and everything. But then music is not only touching your audio system, it goes so deep. And why? Like, what is this? Like, there's a couple songs that to this day when I hear them, every time you can be sure I'll be crying. Every time. I'm not gonna, or like songs where I'm just sitting there and smile, and it's a feeling that the artist is able to plant into your system, or I don't know. It's so powerful.
There's a lot of information in music, I think. And it's more, in my opinion, be emotional information. But there's something about music that carries, it's telling a story, even if there aren't lyrics. And that can be so powerful. And
You can relate to it, maybe?
yeah, of course. Because I feel like in specific songs that I'm thinking of that I feel a deep connection with, it's usually a song that is really powerful emotionally, and I feel like I'm connecting with the artist or the band in a way that they were feeling this or something really similar for this song, and I can feel it in this moment. And that,
No, that is really beautiful, and yeah, I know. Did you learn something about it at university also? Or was
yes,
it
we've been talking about it lately. music. They have found flutes that are 35,000 years old and that play the same structure of music that is current. Babies play when they tap on like Tupperware. They play in tune, or they're rhythmic. It's rhythmic tapping, and across all cultures, moms sing to their babies, which I think is so sweet. It's
Even when they're still pregnant.
yes,
Like I will do that for sure.
but it's not just a cultural thing; it's across the world.
It's across the world.
Yeah.
It's soothing. It's soothing, and yeah, you know, the voice and music is so incredibly powerful.
Yes.
It's true. Okay, I think I asked about the question that we will be asking.
Yes.
It's about ghosting, so I'll pass this on. It's like probably one of the most uncomfortable questions we can ask, but we're burning to get the answer. Yeah, so thank you so much for being here. Like,
So honored that
Yes.
you had me on your first show. Thank you.
yeah, I'm very happy that you were able to come and calm down my nerves and share a little bit of you with the audience here. So, yeah, thank you so much for coming, and I'll wrap up the show. You can stay here. Stay here and look pretty. So, yeah, you guys out there, thank you so much for tuning in today. I feel honored to be doing this show, and yeah, if you liked it, I think I will see in the future if I keep my job here or not. Have a great weekend, and think of all the things that you have accomplished this week. Yeah, be proud of yourself. Allow yourself to relax and unwind, and maybe drift from the head space into your heart space and allow some playfulness. And for the not so esoteric people out there, make your boyfriend a sandwich without him asking for it, or give your girlfriend a foot massage out of nowhere without wanting anything in return. And if you're single, go out there, have fun with your friends, and don't worry about anything, because love is all around us and the right partner will come. Or just enjoy being single. Yeah. So I will be back here next Friday, 7 p.m. And I can't wait. To be honest, I'm very excited to have... It's probably going to be Johnny talking about fatherhood. He became a father out of nowhere and is an artist of tackling difficult situations or challenging situations. And maybe Jason Rao will be here presenting his book. So yeah, take good care of yourself. I care about you, and bye-bye.